What's up, YouTube? Just working on the Raptor tonight, and got the 450 tore apart. Now, if you guys haven't been watching, you might have missed it, but I tore apart the WR 450. I got the parts on order, and funny story, the parts are actually right down the street at a UPS warehouse. They're in a shipping container right down the street. It's Saturday, and UPS has some service where they have it, where they hand it off to USPS, the United States Postal Service, and then the mailman delivers it. So even though the part I need to fix the 450 is literally right down the street, I can't go pick it up. They're gonna hand it off to the Postal Service, which will then basically rearrange it, and then the post guy gets it, postman or woman, will bring it out here Tuesday. So it's Saturday now, and it's driving me crazy because I want to put the 450 back together, because I've got everything almost to do it except for the kickstart stopper and the screw. And so anyhow, that's the 450. That's what's up with it. Quick update on that. And then today what I'm going to be working on is the Raptor 700. So the Raptor, I ended up posting some videos out of order. Sorry about that. Things have been kind of crazy. I was excited. I thought I would have the 450 up and running before the Raptor. So I kind of posted the videos out of order, thinking I would do some 450, WR 450 videos of me hopefully, you know, getting it started, or at least trying to start it with all the parts. But since I don't have everything to put the 450 back together, everything has arrived for the Raptor 700. So at this point, you guys haven't really got any clue probably why the 700 is all tore apart. And I will be showing you all the video where I'm taking it apart. So we're gonna go back in time. So just to give you a look, this kind of all started, the rear rotor, rear brake rotor, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, there's a pretty good chip right there. I'm not sure if this happened when the wheel came off or if one of us hit a rock when we were riding, but it actually bent the rotor pretty bad. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to tell on camera or not, but that rotor is definitely bent. And when that bent, from it turning it, or just from the vibrations, we're not really sure. We're not really sure exactly what happened, how it occurred, but this got pulled sideways and bent the rear brake pad to the point where it was dragging. It was like bending and dragging. So it actually popped out, and the caliper pinched the rear brake pad and bent it. I'm not sure how well you can see that on camera or not, but it's actually bent to the point where the shoe is coming, or the pad is coming off of the backing. So anyhow, one of the reasons we're tearing it apart is we need to replace the rear brake rotor. It's bent. I have a new Alba brake rotor here and Alba chomper brake pads. Real excited to try those out. I've never tried this combination out. I'm really excited to try these out. The Alba rotor with the Alba brake pads. I have some Vitos, swing arm bearings I'm going to install on the front of the swing arm. You might remember when we were up in Coos Bay, up in Oregon last, I noticed that the seal was cracking and popping off, and that the bearing inside had worn out. There's some needle bearings that go inside of here, and a bushing that goes across the inside. And there's a lot of slop and play, and of course you want to replace that before it goes completely bad, because it can destroy the inside of your swing arm, and then you have to buy a new swing arm. So anyhow, while I've got that apart, I also noticed that the rear carrier, it probably needed some new bearings. So I pulled the bearing carrier out of the rear part of the swing arm, and here is the old one on the left. This is the old bearing carrier on the left. And so on the old one, see if you can look down in there, you can see there's, on the old one, if you look down in there, you can see there's two individual bearings on each side. So each side has a pair. There's 4 bearings total with a seal on the outside and then a spacer in between. That's the thing below that. So that's the old one. This is the OEM carrier, and there's no Zerk on it, although you could, you know, drill and put one in there. This is the new carrier over here, and it does have a Zerk right there, so you can pack it full of grease. Obviously it's got fresh seals, and then the bearings on the new one, if you can see there, but it's all one smooth piece, and it's a wider bearing. So it's one solid piece that goes across, and there's a new spacer in between, and then of course it's a new machined outer part. This is a cheaper carrier. This is a Caltric carrier and Caltric bearings and seals. I did reuse the old O-rings. I'm planning on trying to reuse the old O-rings because they looked like they were in okay shape. A look at the new bearings I'm going to be installing in the front of the swing arm. These are the new needle bearings and the new seals with the new bushings for the front of the swing arm. This is a used sprocket hub that I'm going to be installing. I think I might have bent the old sprocket hub and the old sprocket when I was banging it off with a giant hammer. So I just went ahead and ordered one off of eBay, it does appear to be straight or straighter than the old one. The splines look good, so I'll be swapping out the old one for that one. I'm going to reuse my old hubs, and then there's the old brake stay. What else should I show you guys? Oh, I've got this, oh wait, no, I shouldn't show you that yet. You're not supposed to see that yet. That's for something, that's top secret. That's coming up later on. So I'm going to do a little bit more work tonight and clean up inside of here first. I've got a new chain roller to install right there. It's just a primary drive chain roller, 38 millimeter chain roller. I'm going to be bolting it on right there. This one, you can hear it's really dry inside. I'm just going to clean up inside of here really good before I install everything, because you know, it's take advantage of the fact that I have this all apart right now. This quad gets really dirty, and so I like to clean it while I have it all apart. Take advantage of the fact I can get into all these little spaces where stuff gets caked really bad, especially like in here where a lot of grease and dirt get caked in there. But also, while I have this apart, I'm going to have all my Zerk fittings for the suspension and grease all my suspension Zerk fittings. Just grease all those while I have them apart, and I have easy access to those. There's one right there for the shock linkage. There's another one here for the other part of the shock linkage. And then there's one. And then there's one right there for that part of the lower shock linkage as well. So there you go, guys. That's a look at what I'm going to be doing on the Raptor tonight. Pretty much just rebuilding the rear swing arm. I've got the rear Alba brake rotor and pads to put on. Got the Vito's swing arm bearings. Got the new to me eBay sprocket hub and sprocket. And I've got the new Caltrick carrier and bearings.
Trail Blogger.